Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bob Miller Gratitude Success Show. And as Jackson tells us to do every day, and as Bob did every day, we're going to salute Bob. And today I'm grateful for Bob, and I'm grateful for all that he taught me about gratitude, because he really did teach me a lot. And I'm grateful for God. He woke me up. I'm here. We're talking to you. And I'm really grateful for all of you that have come to see us this morning. And hello, Rebecca, and hello, Chris, and who else? Deborah's out there. And we had a small, intimate little group this morning. And I'm especially grateful for our incredible guest this morning. We have Karen Riordan Palmer. Now, Karen doesn't need much of an introduction because we've all met her before. So I'm not even going to try to stumble over introducing Karen. I'm just going to bring her on out. And her and I have been having a very interesting conversation. So let's just bring her on out and go live and have some fun. And Karen, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for continuing Bob's beautiful message. I feel, that as a divine channel of love and light, which I know that I am a divine channel of love and light, I'm able to connect with Bob on another level. And I know that he's very proud of you, Len, and he's very, very happy that you are continuing and that Rebecca is continuing this message and that Jackson is continuing this message, that we're all stepping up, and Chris and everyone who is really starting to see the value in the fact that love is forever, and when you truly love, you can never lose. This is the truth. This is the truth of life. And when we start to, that was the conversation we were just talking about. Len and I were just talking about how, we get so caught up sometimes in the illusion of this separateness, being in this physical world and thinking that, okay, now this person is physically not here anymore, so now I won't be able to have a relationship with him. That's not true. It's not the truth. The truth is that beautiful energy that is the soul of Bob has gone into another adventure. And he's actually told me that he has been able to expand and reach so many more people with his message now that he's not contained to a physical body. So it's really important that we start to, as we are contained in our physical bodies, even though we are still contained in our physical bodies, we can still achieve enlightenment. We can still achieve living the divine essence of who we are in this experience if we don't get caught up in the illusion of separateness. So like I was saying to Len, whenever I start to feel like, okay, the world is, hey, good morning. So whenever I start to feel like the world is just crazy and it's not making any sense to me, I go back to the message that only love is real. And I remind myself constantly that only love is real. And then when I start to, good morning, I'm so glad you guys are all here. So when we stay in that vibration of believing that only love is real, hi Deborah. So when we stay in that vibration that only love is real, then we don't get caught up in the matrix, in the craziness of believing that there's some kind of evil force that is making all this bad happen. It's us. We have free will. So many of us have made choices along the way that we wish we hadn't, right? But we get to choose again, and we can choose love. And there are really only two emotions that are running the show right now, and that's choosing love or choosing fear. And if we go into the vibration of fear, we can spiral down into a whole world of fear and doubt and insecurities. But when we, hey Rebecca, but when we stay true to who we are, and we stop worrying about what other people are thinking about us, and we stop really, that's why I wanted to talk to you about this amazing project that has happened through me that I feel really honored. A year ago today, I actually started writing my book, Global Kindness Going Viral. I knew something huge, something big was happening, and I had to stay true and focused on what was going to be the best possible outcome. And how was I going to help global kindness go viral? The best way that I knew how was using the law of attraction and using the universal laws in favor so that I could get the universal energies to conspire to bring me my desire. So that's where we are today.
It's awesome. Hey, but I got a question.
Yeah.
We recognize the existence of opposites in the universe. There's up and down, left and right. There's good and bad. Where does fear come from? And you and I were talking a moment ago about Napoleon Hill's second book, Outwitting the Devil. We all believe in God. Is there an opposite entity, the devil, that is the propagator of fear, that gets in and stirs our minds and tries to separate us from God?
I think that's our ego.
You do.
That's it. That's our ego, as Wayne Dyer gently put it. That's edging God out, and I believe that when we're listening to our ego, we feel separate. We feel like we have to prove ourselves. We feel like we need approval. Our ego started when we were 2 years old with the terrible twos. The ego begins around 2 years old. And we start to say, Mommy, look at me. I can do this. And it all becomes the I. The I becomes the ego. And when we start to focus most of our attention on the ego, I believe that we have that is fear to me. When the ego starts talking to me, it's usually urgency and annihilation and you've got to do this now and it's got to happen and you're not doing enough. And when I hear that, I start to say, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I hear you, ego. I'm not going to listen because I'm not going to acknowledge that this is any kind of fear that I'm going to step into, but I appreciate your input. And then I move away from the ego and I move back into love. And I come back to love by saying, okay, bring my hands to my heart. I drop my thumbs down into my breastbone and I say, I'm wicked fearful right now. I feel really scared and I need some help. And as soon as I ask for help, instantly God is there. Instantly the energy of God is with me. It comes to me as angels. I have, the connection with the archangels, the ascended masters. I believe that when we connect on a deeper level, that no fear can ever really touch who we really are. And so when we get really comfortable with our unconditional self and we let go of the conditioned self, that conditioned self is our ego. That conditioned self is the part of us that wants to believe I'm better than him or I'm worse than him. Or, I love this quote that Wayne Dyer shared. And I wanted to share it. He says that cooperation is healthier than competition. So working on improving your own person and being so busy doing that you don't have time to compete or compare with others. I loved that because, when we compare, we'll never come up exactly the same. We'll either have more qualities or more skills or less qualities or less skills. We'll never be exactly the same because we don't have the same experiences. We don't have the same lessons that are happening in our lives. So I loved that quote.
I agree with you, and I think, and I've read a lot in Wayne Dyer about those concepts too. And I think, and you're right, Wayne Dyer would call it the ego, And in fact, he talked about, it's too bad that there wasn't some place we could go to get an egoectomy.
Yeah. Well, there's the ego eradicator. I can teach you the ego eradicator. It's a breath technique that you can do whenever you start to feel the ego coming on, or you start to feel feeling like you're really feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, or you can't do one more thing. If you just bring your hands up over your head and you point the thumbs towards the top of your head, so that's your crown chakra. And then you're going to just do really fast breathing in and out through the nose, like Toby does, panting kind of. And so we breathe in and out through the nose, and we close our eyes, and we just let go of the fear. So what that does is our solar plexus, which is just above our belly button, is where a lot of our fears and our insecurities like to live. So when you do that breath of fire and you hold your hands up over your head, it's called the ego eradicator. So
I've never heard of it. Never heard of it before. Did you make this up, or is it? No,
it's Kundalini yoga. And you don't want to hyperventilate. You gotta do it nice and easy and breathing in and out. But you will notice that when you start to do that ego eradicator, you won't feel as overwhelmed. So if you start to feel overwhelmed, or you start to hear the ego saying, yeah, I'm glad you like it too, Rebecca. So when you start to feel like the ego is saying, I'm not doing enough, not enough people are watching my broadcast, not enough people are buying my stuff. When you start hearing that in your head, and not enough people care what I have to say, that's when ego's starting to take you in its grip. And so it is very helpful, Chris. It's an amazing technique, and you can do it in less than a minute. So 30 seconds, and you totally shift back into your true self again. And so it's really powerful.
I like that. So just to sort of close out this chapter, we were talking before I started the live broadcast. We had touched briefly on Napoleon Hill's second book, the less well-known book, Outwitting the Devil. And so you would say that the devil in Napoleon Hill's book really is the ego. It's not another entity. It's that ego. Right.
Yeah. And as Joseph Campbell put it too, that's the shadow. We all have a shadow part of us, that Carl Jung talked about also. That we have the light and we have the shadow, and we have to embrace both parts of us, or the shadow runs wild.
I like it. I really like that. Hey, but I think I took you off course a little bit, because you had some things you wanted to talk about. You had some Wayne Dyer. Well, you already talked about Wayne Dyer, but maybe you had some more. So did I take you off topic about what you wanted to talk about today?
No. I love the topic that we're talking about. It feels all divinely guided. It feels really great. I like the way that it's just flowing spontaneously into the next conversation, into the next, I believe that when we do a broadcast, and I use Periscope, and I use Blab, and I use all kinds of social media, just in case people don't know what I do. I am an angelic marketing strategist. So I tune into the angelic realms, and I use ancient wisdom and combine it with our modern science of technology to help to make the world a better place. So I want to invite you guys to go to the World Parliament on spirituality.org. I am going to be a speaker on spirituality and peace in the social media arena. So I'm going to be teaching people how to use social media for a greater good. And I'm so excited to be going here in November. This is one of the world's largest global peace initiatives. And it's so, so exciting. And we're looking for peace ambassadors. So from all the different countries, we are looking for people to be peace ambassadors. and we're looking for people in the United States. So you can go and you can read all about it at the World Parliament on spirituality.org. And Marianne Williamson is going to be our keynote speaker. And she is, of course, a wonderful teacher on the Course in Miracles, which I have been a student and teacher for the last 20 years. And that is the message of what I believe we are really sending out as a society when we start to realize that we, as one person, can make a huge difference, like voting, going and voting. I voted today, you know, I went and voted. And when we start to look at, I call it inner peace for world peace. So your meditation teacher used to say, if you were low on energy, clench your fists together. Yes, you can do that. That's a really great idea, Chris. If you ever have trouble sleeping, if you're ever having trouble and you're having insomnia, that's the ego. That is, again, anxiety, and that is, you're in the grips of the ego. So what you want to do is tighten up all your muscles. Make yourself tight, tight, tight. And just say, okay, I'm going to just tighten up all my muscles. And then one by one, let each muscle relax. Let the fingers open up, let the feet fall, and let yourself just drop down into that beautiful energy. Just so people know, I teach children how to do yoga and mindfulness. I also teach adults how to use this and yoga in their day-to-day life. I'm really, really excited about being able to share Wayne Dyer's message and continue the beautiful message that he has brought so carefully into this time, so that we can really embrace the ancient teachers, the ancient wisdom in this modern time. So I wanted to share another awesome quote that he had that I just love this. It made me so happy because so many of us who think we're spiritual or believe that we are, on a spiritual path, feel like we have to change people. And the truth is, if you love people, you don't try to change them. Now that feels like a lot of people say, well, I'm around all these negative people, and if I'm around these negative people, I want them to change in order for me to be happy. Well, listen, that doesn't work. That's not part of your path. So love is the ability and willingness to allow those that you care for to be what they choose for themselves without any insistence that you are satisfied by their behavior. That's powerful. Didn't you think that's powerful, Len?
No, absolutely. And that was really one of the strongholds of Wayne's teachings that, and again, I mean, it's something we talk about all the time. My happiness doesn't depend on you or any other external influence. It comes from here. Yes. And you do your thing. And it's something that's a really hard thing to learn as parents too. I've finally given up on worrying about my kid and feeling like there's something I need to do to fix him. He's a hobo living in a field, homeless, and that's a choice that he's made. And I'm okay with that now. For many years I wasn't. But now I am.
Well, when we start to look at other people's experiences that they have chosen to have, there are no accidents, there are no coincidences. And I believe, yes, as far as mindfulness as a strategy in the schools, yes, Deborah, I'm a nonprofit organization. I'm the president of, and I started my own nonprofit organization. So yes, I work with ADHD kids. I go into the schools and I teach mindfulness. I teach, my nonprofit organization is dedicated to bringing environmental education, animal advocacy, kindness, mindfulness, and yoga as a curriculum to the schools. So yes, I believe that all of that will change. They've said that if we were to teach children at 5 years old how to meditate and on compassion and empathy, within one generation, we would wipe out all violence, all terrorism, all fear. We would wipe it out in one generation. If we could just start with the children. This is why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing with Global Peace going viral. It's why I became a social media expert. It's why I became involved in using technology. I had no idea how to use technology when I started. I had to ask my teenage daughter. Yeah, Deborah, I had to ask my teenage daughter how to set up my Facebook account, you know? And so it's like now I love that I can teach other people the simplicity of using technology for a greater good, because I believe that anything that you desire, it's like Napoleon Hill said, a burning desire. My burning desire is to be a voice for these voiceless children and a voice for the animals that are not having a voice and not being able to speak out. They're sharing with us important life lessons. And I know that if we can get into the schools, and this is the vision I'd love for you to hold with me, you guys, because when I go to this meeting and I go talk to these people, these world leaders, I'm going to be really focusing on how can we get this into the schools? This is what my passion is. How do we get this into the masses of the schools? I'm going to be reaching out to Goldie Hawn. I'm going to be reaching out to Deepak Chopra. I'm going to be, you know, each person that I see doing the energy that I am aligned with, I'm going to be reaching out to. And we already have Hay House Radio that has become a team member for us. So yeah, you guys can go to globalpeace.earth. And you can read all about all the amazing partners that we have there we're coming together in September. We're going to do a Globally Good Summit. I have now the hashtag Globally Good Media, and we're using the media to send a message out on Instagram, on Facebook, on Periscope, on Twitter, everywhere. That is what we are going to be focusing on, global peace going viral. And it's happening, you guys. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about, thank you so much, Deborah, blessings to you too. I wanted to talk about how we, and here's I want to share with you my necklace. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a picture of my book, Global Kindness Going Viral. And my friend got me this and put my favorite quote, which is, let go of the how and be ready for the wow. That's one of my favorite quotes. I'm not even sure who said it, but the other quote is, faith is taking the first step when you can't see the entire staircase. Now that was Martin Luther King Jr., and that was the quote that started my Global Peace Day in January. On January, I did all by myself. I organized and had a full day of programming that was dedicated to Martin Luther King's birthday. And we had Global Peace Day. And we focused on all the good things that people were doing. And then I started to feel like I would love to do this for a full week. So a friend of mine, Astra, reached out to me and asked if she could be my partner in peace and my fellow ambassador for inner peace. And then in March, we had an entire week dedicated to global peace going viral. And that's when I met Bob, and that's when I met Len, and that's when we started to team up. Because what happens is when you focus and you put your focus on your burning desire, and you only focus your attention on what it is that you choose, what is the best possible outcome? What is the best possible outcome? If you keep your focus on the best possible outcome, the hows start showing up. So you gotta let go of how it's gonna come to you. You just gotta stay focused on what you want and why you want it. And when you do that, you set in motion miracles.
That's a powerful message. It really is, and it's. I think it's one that we all agree with. It's stay focused on the result, and don't worry about the how. Let go.
I missed what you said.
Well, I think I just said the same thing you said.
Oh, okay. Because I missed.
Did we lose our sound again for a moment?
Just for a moment, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that is, when I get scared, when I start to, go into the vibration of what am I going to do next? What's the next project? What's the next step? I take a nice, relaxing, deep breath, and I ask gently to be led, and I ask, what is the next step? And a lot of the times, when we are being guided divinely, we let go of how it's going to come about, and we really, really fall into grace, and we fall into surrender, and we fall into. That's why I love the law of detachment. That's one of the universal laws also, is letting go and really just being ready for the excitement and the surprise of what the universe is going to bring to us. I mean, I never could have imagined that I would be speaking at this World Parliament on spirituality. I couldn't have put that on a vision board. I couldn't have written that down, and I didn't know anything about it, and I just put out there that I wanted to see global peace going viral. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just knew that it was coming through me, and that it was necessary for me to take and do my part. That's all it is, you guys. It's all that's necessary is for you to do your part. If you are doing what you can in your corner of the world to make it just a little bit brighter, just a little bit happier, just a little bit more loving, then don't beat yourself up, because you're doing more than most people.
Yeah, and that was one of Bob's favorite things, and the passion of just being good, being grateful, doing good things for people, helping people, random acts of kindness. Imagine if everybody on the planet did one random act of kindness a day, what would happen to the planet? Huh? Am I breaking up again for you, Karen, or you can hear me?
We are working toward that, I also teamed up with 1 billion acts of kindness.
Right.
And these are wonderful people. By next year, 2017, we're hoping to have 1 billion acts of kindness documented, because many people do random acts of kindness and they don't take the time to document it, because we were taught that it's not okay to really focus on what you're doing to help the world, and don't shine a light on what you're doing. But the thing is that the world is really wanting to hear more about the things that we're doing, because when we start to see, that's why things go viral. That's why things go viral, because people want to have more good news. They want to hear about the good news. That's why we're tuning in. I'm reaching out to Upworthiness, and I'm reaching out to the Good News Network. I'm excited for September, because we're going to have an entire week totally dedicated to focusing on all the good things happening in the world. And I'm really excited for that, because in September, we will have that whole week dedicated, and it will be the Globally Good Summit.
Now, are you still is there still a Global Peace Week every month?
We are taking a break. Like I said, I tuned in and asked my angels what was the next step, and they said for me to relax and to take some rest. And to really recharge my battery so that I could get the downloads, and so that I could get the information that is going to be necessary for September. So we'll be coming back in August and for June and July, I'm actually going to visit my grandma, who's 96 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to get to spend 2 weeks taking care of her while my two aunts, my great aunts, my daughter's great aunts are going to be going to Sweden for a vacation. So I'm going to get to take care of my grandma, who actually is the person who helped me get out of the abusive relationship that I was in and helped me to see that I deserve a beautiful life. She's the one who taught me about that I deserve a beautiful life. So I'm really excited to be able to spend time with her.
Okay. Hey, well, we're past the top of the hour. Thank you, Jackson.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in.
It looks like a couple people are going to be having to leave. I'm going to ask you one more question, if you don't mind, and anybody who needs to leave can go ahead and leave, please.
Absolutely, I'm yours.
We don't have you chained up here. I want to go all the way back to the beginning. You in the very beginning, you talked about messages from Bob and being in touch with Bob.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
In the very beginning, you talked about messages from Bob and being in touch with Bob. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's okay. For some reason, so the audience knows, Karen and I are having a little difficulty communicating sometimes. Don't know why. So you're in touch with Bob. I think some other people have been in touch with Bob. How do I get in touch with Bob? There seem to be people like you that seem to be able to communicate more effectively with the other side. For me, that's not been something that I've been aware of, at least.
Mm-hmm. The best way is your free will. Your free will. I like to say the best way is to, before you go to sleep at night, because you are in that theta brainwave, when you start to drift off to sleep, you say, I am willing to have a relationship and to have communication with the other side. I am asking that in my dream time that I may have this connection, and asking that I have perfect dream recall. Yes, perfect dream recall. So when you have perfect dream recall, when you are asking before you go to sleep at night, you ask, say, Bob, I miss you, buddy. Can you please just come down? I'm going to raise myself up. Can you just come down enough so that we can continue our communication? Because I would love to have a message from you. And then just start looking for the signs and the signals. He'll come to you in a way that you'll know it's him. There's a way that they can, use their energy to reach out to you. Maybe it'll be in a dragonfly. Maybe it'll be in Toby. Maybe you'll start to realize that, Toby's trying to get a message to you, and that'll be Bob getting a message through you, through his puppy, because his puppy is pure love. Toby is pure love. And so Toby has access to that pure love, pure joy. And he's bringing that. What he's showing you, Len, is you are pure love and pure joy too. Toby, when you look at Toby and you see pure love and pure joy, Toby is a mirror of what you are, who you are.
Is it also fair to say that Toby is pure sand? sand, hair, and salt water.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to take you up on that. I'm going to try it tonight. So, hey, look, I love talking to you, Karen. We're going to wrap it up here. Do you have any final words you'd like to say? No, we put a couple links in. Toby messaged you, Len. Feed me and move off my couch. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Off the couch.
So Toby has gradually taken over.
What am I grateful? I love that, Jackson. I will answer what I'm grateful for. I am so grateful for the fact that I have consciousness. My consciousness is what I'm the most grateful for. I'm so grateful that there is a way for me to know that I'm being guided and directed, and that my life loves me and life loves you. That's what I'm grateful for. Life loves me and life loves you. And that is what I'm the most grateful for, that we get to have this exceptional, incredible experience. You're welcome, Mario. I'm so glad that you're here. We get to have this exceptional life in this physical form. We get to choose how each day is going to go. I get to choose if I'm going to hold that door open and look somebody right in the eye and smile at them and say, I hope you're having a great day. Or I can look down at the ground and let the door slam in their face. I get to choose. I get to choose. I can choose whether I'm going to go up to the senior center and sing with the seniors and bring the puppies up to visit the seniors, or I can choose to go sit out in the green grass if I'd want to just sit out in the green grass. I'm so grateful for everything. And especially, I'm grateful for Bob Miller, because I know that he helped me to see how important it is for me to teach others about their magnificence, because he really embraced being called to be magnificent, and he knew that he was here to be magnificent, and I really believe that that was his calling, and that's why he got to move on to the next adventure. This is why he got that lesson, and he really learned why he was here, and he is continuing his legacy through all of us.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go. I'm going to let everybody go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Karen. I always love chatting with you a little bit. You put a couple links up, and I'll copy those links. Can you message me the links so I'm sure I get them correct? And
absolutely.
When I put up the replay, I'll put up the links with the replay for today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
and like I said, we are looking for peace ambassadors. So Terry Miller I'm sending her the paperwork, and she might be going too. So it's a really amazing experience to be a part of something so historical. We are going to be really using our voice. Is going to be everybody who comes to the summit. They're going to be documenting all the different ideas that people have on how we can achieve world peace. And that's going to be brought to the United Nations.
And when's the summit? It's in November?
Yes, it's in November. It's November 17th to the 20th.
And where's it at?
It's in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, it's not even very far away. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The last one was in India. So
that's far away.
And basically, they don't have a budget to fly people there, but they do have, you will have your lodging and your food will be provided for you if you're an ambassador. So,
wow.
So if you can get yourself there, you can fly there and back, you can have the experience of a lifetime.
Cool. All right, I'll check that out. I'll put the links up. I want to remind everybody that Lunch with Len is today at 11:30.
Oh, yeah, that sounds so fun.
And Clive Jeffrey is on today, and Clive is a social media person. He's really good with this stuff, so I know he's got a lot of good tips for us. We're going to have that going on today. Karen, love you to death. Absolutely love you to death. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go shut down the broadcast. And what can I say? We'll talk again.
I'll send you guys all the information. And yes, we should all go, Rebecca. I think that it would be a wonderful, wonderful trip for all of us. And we can, continue this beautiful message of spreading peace and love and kindness, compassion, and just really being who we came here to be. When we stay true to who we are, all the other stuff just falls away.
Okay. On that note,
Hope everybody has a beautiful day. Remember
Everybody.
to think about what you're grateful for and take a few minutes to just be grateful. Also, the Global Moment of Joy, we have over 50,000 people already joined at the globalmomentofjoy.com. So you can go to Global Moment of Joy at 12 o'clock noon every day. We just want to take 1 minute to focus on what we're grateful for, to think about something that we can bring more joy into our life about, or something that we love very, very much. Because when we raise our vibration, we actually start to neutralize the lower vibrations. So every one of us makes a difference. I'll put that in here too.
Okay, cool. And it takes like one person at a high vibration can neutralize 70 or 80 people at a lower vibration.
90,000.
90,000? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90,000. If one person stays in the vibration of non-judgment and self-acceptance and acceptance of others, one person neutralizes and counterbalances 90,000 people who are in the vibration of hatred, bigotry, and fear. And shame. Shame is the lowest vibration there is. So when you shame yourself, or when you shame your child, or you shame your dog, that doesn't work. That vibration is not the way to educate. Shame is not the way to educate.
Somebody should have told my mother that.
My mom too. I wish you told my mom that too. I broke the cycle with my kids. Yeah, I broke the cycle with my daughter, and I broke the cycle with the children that I teach in yoga and mindfulness. So, and the teenage girls that I get to work with that, you know, are not having self-esteem or not having self-confidence.
Good for you. Awesome. That is awesome.
We get to do it again. We get to choose again all the time. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Okay. Karen, as usual, it's been wonderful. We're going to have you back again sometime soon. All righty?
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right, my friend.
All right. Have a great day. I'll see you at 11:30.
Okay. Bye for now.